Okay, so it's getting pretty close for me to start my long bike trip. I've had a lot of people ask, how are you going to sleep? Where are you going to eat? Where are you going to stay? What are you going to do if it rains? So I thought I'd put together this little video showing you all my gear and how I pack it on the panniers. And then when I get out on the trail, I'll do one on the bike as well and how it packs on the bike. So this is basically my camping pannier. This is the left rear pannier, so it'll be back here on this side. This basically has all of my camping equipment. Many of you know I'm a backpacker. I like to go on long trips carrying everything on my back. Tent, sleeping bag, sleeping system, cook pot, everything that basically would go in a backpack if I'm going on a trip. Except for clothes and food, is in this pannier. These are Arkell panniers. They're one of the better brands of panniers you can get for a bike. Ortlieb is the other one that most people have. I chose to go with Arkell basically because I like to be, a little different, still get quality stuff, but be, not what everybody else has. So hopefully you'll see that in the gear that I've chosen to take as well. On the Arkell bag, one of the things they're known for are all of these different pockets and ways to organize your kit. So I'm going to start with the top compartment of this, and basically in here are all the rain covers for all of my panniers. So the two big rear panniers have rain or waterproof liners as well, but all these Arkell bags are made out of canvas, and canvas gets really heavy when it gets wet, so you still want to cover it up to keep the rain out. I've got all of that in this top pocket. This side pocket, I think they designed it, Arkell designed it to carry a fuel pot. I have my camp kitchen in here, which is a pot, some cutlery, a couple fuel cans, and in the pot, I've got my stove that sits on top of the fuel can. So it just screws on top. I'm using a very cheap Amazon.com BRS stove. I've tried a lot of other ones when I backpack, and the thing I like about this is just how small it is. Goes in this Toaks titanium bot, which has the benefit of being a screw type container. So if I wanted to cold soak my food instead of heat it up on the stove, I could fill this up with food, pour some water in it, and overnight when I wake up in the next morning, I'll have a meal. So that's what's in here. I've got two types of cutlery that I'm taking with me. I've got your traditional fork, knife, and spoon, and then I have a long-handled spoon as well. Sometimes when you do dehydrated meals, you got this big long bag, and it's nice to have a longer reach spoon so you can get to the bottom of the bag without getting your hands all full of Alfredo sauce or whatever else they have on there. And then on these two front compartments, these are my toiletries. Actually, toiletries might need another bag. This is more camping stuff. So here I have some clothesline, my ditty bag, which is when I carry backpacking. It'll have a headlamp, a little pocket knife, some duct tape, some tenacious tape patches, thermarest pads to a repair kit to fix it if my air mattress gets a hole in it. Got a headlamp, it's USB chargeable. Got some bungee cords, a lighter, and a knife. And then all of that goes in this front compartment. I also have my water filter. Pretty much filtered water probably isn't going to be much problem on this trip. But if ever I get to a place where I'm low on water and I go across the river or a stream, I can filter my own water to get me by if I need to. And then this top pouch is actually a belt, a hip belt that you can take off and wear And I don't have anything in it now, but that's where I'll put my wallet and any other paperwork or things that I need for the trip. But the big compartment on the inside has all of my camping equipment. So I've got this Lucy light. It's solar powered. I'll probably strap it on the back of the bike once I use it to charge it up. But this expands. It's actually a pretty cool little thing. Expands. And I expand it this way. You can blow it up if you want. Then you turn on the light. Nope, evidently it needs charged. Anyway, the light reflects off the bottom and in this plastic thing that lights up, and it actually does a pretty good job on the tent on the inside. I'll leave this out, so hopefully it'll get charged so I don't get in my tent the first night and find out I don't have power. And then in the waterproof liner, I have my sleeping bag. This is a Catabatic Gear 30-degree quilt. I call it a sleeping bag. It's not really a sleeping bag. If you go online, you look at quilts versus sleeping bags, what most people are familiar with. Basically, a quilt is a sleeping bag without a back, because when you lay on a down sleeping bag, it compresses that down and it doesn't provide much insulation anyway. Luckily, I'll be biking from June 27th, July 22nd in the Midwest to the Mid-Atlantic states. Hopefully it's not going to be cold enough where I need more than this quilt. I have a Thermarest compressible pillow, which is as big as my sleeping bag or quilt. I also have an inflatable sleeping bag that I'll probably take as well, or inflatable sleeping pillow I'll probably take as well. I have two pillows, but this is a lot more comfortable than the inflatable Sea to Summit pillow that I have. And then my tent is a two-person tent by a company, a cottage industry called Slingfin. This is the Slingfin Portal. It's a great backpacking tent. If you're in the market for one, I highly recommend it. It's not the ultralight that you would get with like a Z-Packs or maybe some of the other Six Moon designs. It weighs a little heavier than that. It's a little under 2 pounds. But it's a great backpacking tent, and the thing I like about it is its side entry. It's got some big vestibules that you can put some stuff under. You can sit up in it without your head touching the top of the tent, which to me a lot of the backpacking tents are really bad at. And it is a true two-person tent. I'm only going to have one person in the tent, but one person plus all this gear it'll be more than spacious enough. I tried it out this week. This last weekend, and it's a breeze to set up. It's a freestanding tent. Just everything that I like in a tent, this tent has. I don't ever believe I'll try another. It's that nice. If I go ultralight, I do have a different Slingfin product that I use. It's a tarp, basically with a liner. You put a bug net in the inside. And it's also very good, but it requires trekking poles, and it's kind of hard to put trekking poles in a bike. So weight isn't as big of an issue when you're biking as it is when you're backpacking. So I've made the decision to take this big behemoth tent, because it takes up basically half the pannier. So what you don't see here is the air mattress, which would fit if I would put my backpacking air mattress in here, but I want to show you the decision that I made next. So when I go backpacking, I usually take either this, which is a Thermarest Neo Air, the high R value one. It's a great backpacking air mattress. A lot of people complain they're a little loud. They are pretty expensive, but they also aren't very wide. And this last weekend I took it with me, and I mean, it's mostly comfortable, but it doesn't give you all the comfort of home that I would like to have. So what I've decided to do, because space isn't really an issue on the back of the bike, and I have a flat rack on the back of it, I decided to go with this REI camp bag. Now, this is something I would never take backpacking. It weighs about 3 times as much as the Thermarest Neo Air that I just threw up there. And it's obviously, 6 times as big volume-wise. But what I'm planning on doing is strapping this on the back of my bike, lengthwise, because I think it'll fit just fine. This is kind of the luxury item I'm going to take. I'm going to plan on sleeping about 3 nights in my tent, and then the 4th night will be in a hotel, and I'll do that for 22 days. That'll give me some time to laundry, get a better night's sleep. But one of the things that I've decided that if I'm going to sleep so often in the tent, I'm going to be as comfortable as possible. And sleeping on this bed is more comfortable than sleeping on that little air mattress. This is the other rear pannier, so this will be the left rear pannier. On the side, I have the tent stakes or poles for the sling fin. They go here. I've got a small air pump for my bike tires if I need to pump it up. The thing I like about this pump is it will actually split out to where you can use it on the ground. And to me, pumping tires is not my favorite thing to do. And so I decided to go with this route. It's got an air gauge on here to make sure I pump to the appropriate PSI. But I got that, and then also on the side here, these are the tent poles that go with the sling fin portal. And the Arkel system has this nice little side pocket and straps that I can just strap these to the outside. It works really good. And then on the inside, I have my electronics bag. I'll go into that in a minute. What I'm taking, I've got a little Thermarest Z seat. This is a foam seat that you can put on like a picnic table or rock on the ground. I also use it as a doormat for my tent. So what I like to do when I get in and out of my tent is I like to leave my shoes on the outside, and I just set this on the ground and I put my knees on it, work on the inside of the tent, and then sit inside it and make it terminate. It basically acts as a false floor, so I don't take dirt or grass or weeds or bugs in the tent with me. I'm pretty much a tent neat freak. I don't like the outside inside my tent, and that helps me get there. And then the rest of this bag will be my iPad Air, which is over there charging, and then my town clothes. So when I get to some of the places I'm going to go, I'm not going to walk around too often in my bike clothes, although they're not your typical spandex tight bike clothes that you'd like to see. I've got some tennis shoes in here, and then a pair of pants, pair of underwear, socks, and a polo shirt. That if I want to go to a restaurant or something like that in one of the towns that I'm staying at, I feel okay. About it. The other thing I have in here is I have a camp towel that I'm hoping, and this one's made by MSR, to use more to dry clothes than it will be to dry me. I'll be at showers at some places at some of the campgrounds I'm staying at, and I'll need a towel for that. But the big deal here is when I need to wash some clothes on the road. I only brought 2 on bike sets of clothes. One I'll be wearing. Actually, I brought 3. One I'll be wearing, and then 2 I'm packing. And I'll have to wash and dry those on the road sometimes. And then the rest of this is just clothes, right? So I got 1 pair of underwear, a pair of socks, a shirt, and a pair of pants. And that is, and my iPad being here. And this is the the other rear pannier. Not real exciting. Not a ton of stuff in here. There's plenty of room if I want to carry some more food or something in here as well. It's not nearly as packed as the other one. The other thing that's in here is my toiletries on these front pockets. So down here I have bug spray, toilet paper, and a trowel if I get to a point where there's not a bathroom and I have to dig a cat hole. This is shower wipes. So if I'm wild camping or I'm not in a campground with a shower, I can wipe off these towels. And first aid kit. Have things in here like ibuprofen, band-aids, moleskin, though I probably won't find myself with many blisters. And then at the top here is my toiletries. Got sunscreen, toothpaste, toothbrush, medicine, and I'll have a shaving kit in here as well when I go. In my electronics bag, it's basically cables and batteries, and wall warts. So I'll have my charging plugs for my Apple equipment. Got a little lightning cable, got another bigger lightning cable, couple of wall warts, another lightning cable, and then a couple rechargeable battery packs and some wired headphones. And all this goes in a waterproof bag. Then I have the two front panniers. Don't know which one's left, which one's right, but one's left, one's right. So, I've also got a top compartment on this one. It's got my sunglasses in it. So on these, the front panniers are a little smaller. This one's got some chain oil. I'll put some other bike stuff in here. And then this has got food that I'm taking. One of the things that I've read and watched on YouTube is having to eat a lot when you're on the bike trail. One of the snacks of preference of mine, I'll show you this when I get the other stuff out, is a thing called a stroopwafel. I first found it on an airplane. I really like them. I found a place that sells them. And that's going to be my main snack of choice, at least to start that. And then I've got some dehydrated meals, a couple tuna fish packets, a couple things of oatmeal in here as well. All of that is in this sealed bag, which is supposed to be smell-proof. And I put that inside a bear-proof Kevlar bag. Once I get to Pennsylvania on my trip and ride along the Potomac River and down the Gap Trail, I'll be in bear country, so I want to make sure I have something that I can protect my food with. And that's the one pannier. And the other one is basically clothes. These got my rain gear, my jacket and pants. I'm on a pretty tight schedule, and if it's raining most days, unless it's really bad, I'll be biking. And then I've got two waterproof bags full of my on-bike clothes. This also has a sweatshirt on it in case it gets cold. So this is two t-shirts and a jersey, or a t-shirt and a jersey, and then two sets of chamois and bike shorts to wear over the top. And then this is socks and underwear for once I get. And my handlebar bag. This handlebar bag is actually made by Orly. It's it's the, I think they call it the 6. I think it's made that you can put a 6-pack of something in here. Just stuff I want access while I'm riding. I may put one of my batteries up here in a cable, biking gloves, a sun hat that'll sit underneath my helmet, a buff, some sun sleeves, a bright safety triangle that I'll wear around my waist when I'm biking on the road, lots of strop waffles. These things are really good too, these Scratch Labs energy chews. So this is just basically snacks up here. I don't plan on riding in the night or in the dark, but when I'm on the road, I'll put a headlight on and flash oncoming traffic. And then finally, I have a bike lock. And this will all sit up front with me and be accessible in the handlebar bag. And then the final bag I have is my toolkit. Not a lot in here. This sits under my seat. In there I have a spare tube, a multi-tool with a chain breaker on it in case I need to do some chain work, a couple tire irons, a couple patch kits. On my bike, when I do my YouTube video on that, you'll see I have a Brooks B17 saddle on it that I've had forever. It's the most comfortable saddle I've ever ridden with. But it is leather and you're not supposed to get it wet. So this is a cover that'll sit on that. Let's see what else do I have in here. That looks like I might have a couple patch kits. I got some master links in case I do need to do a quick chain repair. And that's my toolkit. Oh, there's a spoke wrench in there as well. And that is it for bagged stuff on my bike journey. Also on the bike, I've got 2 1-liter water bottles. And then what I plan on wearing, I've got some Keen sandals. I've decided to go with these because I don't have to wear socks, even though I carried it in case I've got some socks if it gets cold. But B, they're comfortable to walk around in on my bike. I don't have clipless pedals. On the bike I'm taking on this trip, I don't even have toe straps, just big flat platforms so I can get off my bike and go walking if I want. Of course, I have a bike helmet, shorts, chamois, t-shirt.
What if there's a rain delay?